Every day, we make decisions. What to wear, what to eat, who to talk to. We pride ourselves on our ability to choose, our power of free will. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, do we really make our own choices? We like to believe that we are the captains of our own fate. But what if the idea of free will is more complicated than we think? What if our choices are influenced by forces we can't even see or understand? The concept of free will has been debated by philosophers, scientists, and theologians for centuries. Some argue that we have the ability to make choices independent of outside forces, while others believe our decisions are determined by factors beyond our control. But what does science have to say about it? Recent studies in neuroscience suggest that our brains may be making decisions before we even become consciously aware of them. In one famous experiment by neuroscientist Benjamin Libet, participants were asked to move their fingers at will while their brain activity was being monitored. The results were astonishing. Brain activity associated with the decision to move the finger occurred several hundred milliseconds before the participants consciously decided to do so. This led some scientists to question whether our sense of free will is simply an illusion, a byproduct of our brain's unconscious processes, which we only become aware of after the decision has already been made. If our brain makes choices before we're aware of them, does that mean we're not really in control? But let's take it a step further. Even if we do become aware of our choices, how free are we really? How much of our decision-making is influenced by our environment, upbringing, and biology? For example, we're constantly bombarded with external influences. Advertisements shape our desires. Social media feeds dictate what's popular, what's trending, and even what we should think or feel. In this digital age, are we really making independent choices, or are we simply responding to the world around us? Our upbringing plays a massive role in shaping who we are and what we value. The environment we grow up in, our family, culture, education, shapes our thoughts, beliefs, and desires. The choices we make later in life are often a reflection of these early influences. So, if we're shaped by our past experiences, can we truly say we have complete free will in the present? Philosophers have long debated this question. Are we truly free to make choices, or are our decisions determined by a combination of biology, past experiences, and social influences? Some argue that while we might not have absolute freedom to choose, we still have the ability to reflect on our options and make choices based on reason, morality, and personal goals. This is what we call compatibilism. Compatibilists argue that free will isn't about being free from influence, but about being able to make decisions based on our own reasoning, even if those decisions are influenced by external factors. So, while we may not have total control, we still have a kind of autonomy in our decision-making process. So if our choices are influenced by a mix of unconscious brain processes, environmental factors, and personal experiences, does that mean we have no agency in our lives? Not necessarily. Many argue that while we may not be fully free in every moment, we still have the capacity for reflection, growth, and change. The power of free will may not lie in complete independence from influence, but in our ability to choose how we respond to those influences. We may not always be able to control our circumstances, but we can control how we act within them. And that, in itself, might be the essence of free will. So, do we really make our own choices? The answer isn't black and white. Our decisions are shaped by a complex web of factors, some we're aware of and others we're not. But maybe in the end, free will is less about complete freedom from influence and more about the ability to reflect, learn, and choose our path, despite the forces that shape us. What do you think? Do we have true free will, or is it all just an illusion? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.